Okay, finally, we're back at it with this 944 to 6-liter Chevy V8 conversion here. Kind of had a couple of months there where I didn't really get much of a chance to do anything, but the main thing you got to accomplish before this thing goes together is to make sure that the drive shaft penetrates far enough into the pilot bearing, which I think is probably about 1/4 inch, which requires moving the drive shaft around inside the torque tube a little bit. That is pretty friggin' difficult to say the least. So at first it was too short up in the front here, so I banged it further. Then yesterday I mocked up the transaxle on it and I couldn't get the coupler bolts in, so that meant the spaces on the drive shaft, there's a spot on the drive shaft that the splines aren't on, and that's to facilitate the bolt going through the coupler. Same thing on the input shaft to the transaxle. So the coupler's only, that long. I think it's 3 5/8 between the two bolts. So you only got a little bit of wiggle room there, and we were too far forward, so I had to stand this thing up on its end and pound the drive shaft back in. So now we're at a point where we have the coupler coupled, its bolts are in there, and we're seated in the pilot bearing. That's well, when I take it apart, I'll see how far. I marked it where it's seated in the pilot bearing now, so when I pull it apart, I'll be able to measure it, but it's probably not quite as much as it should be. It should be at least like 1/4 inch, but we'll see when we take it out. Okay, that's it for now.